Coming up, Shohei Ohtani makes up for a rough day on the mound with a great day at the plate. This is Locked On Game to Game MLB.
Every game, every team, every angle. Locked On Game to Game, your team every day.
Welcome in, everybody. You are watching Locked On Game to Game MLB, local experts going over the biggest stories in baseball. I'm your host, Daniella Bruce, and thank you so much for making Locked On your first listen every single weekday. Shohei Ohtani gave up a 5-0 Angels lead on the mound in the fourth inning against the A's yesterday, but he made up for that mistake at the plate with 3 hits to help LA.
For years, Shohei Ohtani's pitching bailed out the Angels, but on Thursday, the Angels' hitting bailed out Shohei Ohtani's pitching. Imagine that. Hey, everybody, it's Mike Frisch, one half of Locked On Angels. The Angels win their third straight game on Thursday against the Oakland A's, 8-7. Shohei was on the mound. We expected dominance, and he was great through the first 3 innings. The Angels put a 5 spot on the board in the bottom of the third, and then Shohei, surprise, surprise, gave it back in the top of the fourth. The A's hit 2 home runs. He walked a few guys, had a few wild pitches, and it was a tight ball game for a while, but then Brandon Drury came through with some offense. He hit his 5th home run, and then Shohei Ohtani on the offensive side had 3 hits, and he almost hit a home run, which would have given him the cycle. That would have been incredible, but the Angels did hold on to win. Carlos Estevez got the save in the 9th, and they find themselves 2 games over 500, and John and I are going to talk all about this game and more on Locked On Angels. We hope you joined us.
Cody Clemens' RBI single brought home the only run of the game for the Philadelphia Phillies against the Seattle Mariners, who couldn't find a way to respond on offense at all on Thursday. Our Locked On Phillies host recaps the shutout win.
The Phillies shut out the Mariners, win Game 3, win the series, and are finally back to 500. Connor Thomas, your host of Locked On Phillies. What a pitching performance by Matt Strahm and the Phillies bullpen today. Listen, I don't know how many more starts that Strahm has left before he's moved back into the bullpen and the Phillies rotation gets settled. Maybe the Taijuan Walker forearm soreness will lead to more innings for him, but he's been outstanding, largely stepping into a starter's role when they needed him most. The bullpen's been really, really good lately. Kody Clemens comes through as the sole Philadelphia Philly with an RBI, scoring Nick Castellanos. And I mean, listen, you got to win games a bunch of different ways. In this series, I told you on Locked On Phillies, I think 6 runs would do it, and 6 runs would have been the winning score for each of these games, but they win 1-0 today. They win with 6 runs yesterday, and 6 would have won Game 1, but that's fine. We'll talk more about it on the next episode of Locked On Phillies.
The Cubs took 2 of 3 from the Padres this week, thanks to 3 home runs, including Dansby Swanson's first in Chicago. Locked On Cubs recaps the series-clinching victory.
Great response win from the Cubs today as they defeat the Padres 5-2 to take the series. It was a tough pitching matchup. Seth Lugo against going into the game was struggling Hayden Wesneski, but Wesneski hung tough. Dansby Swanson hit his first career home run as a Chicago Cubs. Eric Hosmer homered, Nelson Velasquez homered, and the Cubs were able to stave off the Padres and win the series and salvage a 3-4 homestand. Cubs are 14-10, playing pretty good baseball through April. So far, they will head to Miami and then Washington for an East Coast road trip to see if they can stack up some more wins.
Coming up, the Pirates stay one of the hottest teams in baseball. This is Locked On Game to Game MLB. Our new sponsor, Sorare, is a revolutionary fantasy baseball game and marketplace transforming fans into owners with officially licensed digital cards featuring players from all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Unlike other fantasy baseball platforms, Sorare managers truly own their fantasy experience, collecting, buying, selling, and competing with player cards against global opponents to win epic rewards. Win or lose, you still own your cards, and there's no cost to play. Sorare MLB game weeks happen twice weekly and span 3 to 4 days. At the end of a game week, Sorare MLB managers who rank at or near the top of their leaderboards win a variety of rewards, which can include Sorare scarcity cards, game tickets, merchandise, signed jerseys, and a VIP experience like meeting MLB stars. Prizes may vary depending on competition. Head to Sorare.com/lockedon, that's spelled SORARE.com, to draft your team of free player cards, set your lineup, and start competing today to win epic rewards. Again, that's Sorare.com/lockedon to start playing today. The Pirates stayed hot behind 10 strikeouts from starter Mitch Keller, and all of a sudden, Pittsburgh has won 9 of its last 10 games. Locked On Pirates has more on the hot streak.
It's not about how you get knocked down. It's about how you get back up. And the Pittsburgh Pirates got back up after losing their opening game of the series to the LA Dodgers and snapping their win streak. But they win the last 2 games of the series with strong starts from Roansy Contreras, and today with Mitch Keller and Connor Joe and Rodolfo Castro have a big 6th inning going back-to-back with home runs. The bullpen pitches 3 perfect innings between Dwayne Underwood Jr., Jose Hernandez, and David Bednar, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are 10 games over 500 for the first time since 2015. The last time that they made the playoffs. The Pittsburgh Pirates defeat the Dodgers 6-2 today on Thursday and head to D.C. to take on the Washington Nationals. My name is Ethan Smith, your host of the Locked On Pirates podcast, and I will see you on the flip side.
The Chicago White Sox are now losers of 8 straight games after dropping their series opener against the Rays last night. Locked On White Sox has more as Chicago continues to slide.
The Chicago White Sox were completely dismantled by the Tampa Bay Rays on Thursday night. Hey, I'm Nick Morawski from Locked On White Sox. What happened to the Chicago White Sox on the South Side on Thursday is exactly what should happen to a team and organization that is in complete freefall. The Tampa Bay Rays are a very good team, a well-run organization. They came in and they punched the White Sox right in the mouth. They didn't feel sorry for them. There were no lapses. They put their foot on their throat. They smelled blood and they attacked. The Chicago White Sox have now lost 8 games in a row. They are 7-19 on the season. They try again on Friday night with Lucas Giolito on the hill. For more, check out the Locked On White Sox podcast.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Game to Game. Thank you so much for making Locked On your first listen every single weekday. Make sure you subscribe to Locked On MLB and your team's Locked On podcast on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Daniella Bruce, and this has been Locked On Game to Game.